Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Andy Teshordo. Today I'm going to be talking about Clone Troopers and the recent resurgence of the Clone Wars era and all the recent possible adds of Clone Wars era characters for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and so on. I apologize, yes, I've been away for a little bit, but I want to get my videos back out there again. You may even see some of them premiere because I'm going to try this new premiere thing for YouTube, so we'll see how this works. But yeah, I do want to mention this list is the exact same list I have talked about in the past. I will put a link to the video in the description below of my previous thoughts and topics. Some may vary and change, some may not. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, I do want to mention we do have two famous, at least a captain and a commander in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes currently, Rex and Cody, but we also have Echo 5s and Clone Trooper Sergeant. I wouldn't mind them actually seeing Heavy, or maybe even changing Clone Trooper Sergeant to Heavy. We'll see. I don't highly doubt that'll ever happen. But going off Clone Trooper Sergeant, though, we could see the other basic Clone Trooper variants. The red variant, the blue, the yellow, and because we have the green, and then the basic white. And the basic white I can easily see just being a basic Stormtrooper-esque character. Basic, special, and a unique. That's it. It's kind of like Stormtrooper and First Order Stormtrooper. And yes, since Stormtrooper and First Order Stormtrooper have specifically Zetas, so I would say this would be one of the few characters to give a Zeta. Something different and unique. Of course, I still feel like Wall of Stormtroopers should be literally reworked somehow. But going into it, though, let's go ahead and go into this. Let's talk about this list. Wolf, Commander Wolf, part of the Wolf Pack. He was under Plo Koon during the Clone Wars. You definitely see him a lot in the TV series. He's a pretty popular commander. I like him, but he's not my favorite per se. I definitely like Rex and Cody more, but, you know, he's really cool, and I do like his armor work. He has multiple different variations of armor, so if they ever do a Wolf outside of another variant in the game, I can see them doing a skin change appearance. They'll probably have a way of unlocking skins eventually in the near future for different variations, like, for example, Stormtrooper Han having the helmet on. Even though it'd kind of be weird because we already have a Stormtrooper, but he would have a different pose. But then again, there's Sabine with and without the helmet. I know Gar Saxon is holding his helmet, and then he puts it on in battle. So who knows if they will do any sort of aesthetic, since one of the big quality of life updates has happened this year, and that was mod management. Thank you, developers. So. But yes, going into it though, Wolf does have a few different helmet variations, so we could see a few different variations you can select through. I'm sure you'll have to pay for it or something. I don't know. But yeah, Wolf, number 1. And yes, he is on this list before. So next is Kix. I can easily see this being one of the healing clones, one of the few rare healing clones. It'd be a healer. Of course, I feel like healers could be benefited. Captain Han Solo should be a healer in the game. Why is he not? But going back to it though, Kix could be the healer for clones. He can heal, he can cleanse, he could even revive. A lot of healers are starting to throw, like Captain Han Solo kind of does that. Recently we got a healer called Jolie Bendo. He does a heal, cleanse, and revive kind of effect. We have old Daka that at least heals and revives. We got Ewok Elder that heals, revives, and cleanses. So hopefully we get to see this as a more prominent healer. And then, of course, they could also rework General Kenobi's tag to, of course, not just say, you know, Clone Trooper, because you get a buff, like Tank's Taunt under General Kenobi when they do a special ability. Here, they could also add Healer in there. So, but yeah, I like the idea of having Kix as a healer. Next is Gregor. Now, I do want to talk about him. There are other clone commandos on this list because a lot of people love clone commandos. Some like the ARC Troopers more. You know, that's a toss-up. That's your own personal opinion. I do admit Star Wars Republic Commando was an amazing game. Gregor, I feel like, could be a single legendary event Now remember this, single legendary event character, and you could just use any clone to unlock, or maybe you actually have to unlock, or get this, they had add in new marquee characters. I know you're like but of D Squad. So you'd obviously have R2D2, but then you'd have the other members of D Squad, and D Squad has to unlock Gregor. I feel like that would be the pinnacle legendary event for a light side droid team to unlock Gregor. Gregor being a legendary event for D Squad. Simple, done, and done. I think I like this idea, and don't get me wrong, I feel like all the clone commandos on this list, when I get to them, if you have seen the previous one, should be legendary, and I'll talk about that one a little bit later. Next, oh, actually, I'm already talking about them, though. The Delta Squad, the most famous legendary of clone commandos. These clone commandos easily, and I mean easily, can unlock, excuse me, they can unlock, any clone can unlock Delta Squad. Of course, I don't know how they would specifically do it, have a legendary 28 tier legendary event, and you have, 4 tiers, kind of like a normal legendary event, 4 tiers for 1 star, 4 tiers to 2 star, 3 star, all the way up. So you have to unlock, say, for example, Boss, Sev, Scorch, and then Fixer, and then you start over again, and then over again. It may be tedious, but it would be a super legendary event. It'd be one of the first super legendary events. Delta Squad easily could make sense to being a clone team, and they would have super synergy within themselves because they are their own squad. But they would have super synergy and would be easily meta viable. But still, giving Delta Squad a super legendary event, that'd be one way to address it. Yes, 28 tiers, long event, but worth it the entire way. So, that's my opinion on that. Next is the newer famous team that's kind of, I feel like it's based off of both Delta Squad and then the Null Arc Commandos from Karen Travis's Republic Commando books. So, Prudy, I can't remember why I'm going blank as I'm talking about them, but yeah, I feel like they're kind of a crossbreed between the two of them. They're such unique characters. Of course, I feel like first off, I feel like this clone commando unit should come more when Clone Wars comes back out, sometime during the time run of Clone Wars coming out. Easily can be done then. Whereas Delta Squad can easily be released probably in the next 6 months. And then, of course, they release some characters here and there for this one. Another super legendary event. Only the few that have like squads that are legendary. And the legendary event characters could theoretically be, instead of 5 ability characters, 4. You could do that and it would still make them decently viable. And then you can insert Gregor on either of these two teams and you got a super amazing Republic Commando team. But no, anyways, so the characters to unlock this one, it's going to be a little tricky. First off, I feel like they need to, other than rework Jedi Knight Anakin, is also to release a new version of him, General Skywalker. Just call him General Skywalker like General Kenobi. And then they could get Jedi Master Obi-Wan sometime in the future. But General Skywalker, release him, take the synergy that Jedi Knight Anakin has from Ahsoka and throw it onto General Kenobi, or General Skywalker, Gaul. So you would need General Skywalker, General Kenobi, Rex, and Cody, and Echo. Those were the big 5 that you would need to unlock these 4. That would be I would say that would be a great way to do it. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like those 5 would make sense to do that. Yes, we'd have to have a marquee event, but we'd only need 1, because the other 4 exist in the game. Simple and done. So, the next one, the next three, we do go into Star Wars Rebels for, and the last three on this list, and it's the veteran Wolf, Gregor, and Rex. Yes, they would also have the Rebel tag. Yeah, I know, but of course that Rebel era has kind of come to an end, except when original trilogy Chewbacca was released. But Rex, Gregor, and Wolf, these could be just... They could have a veteran event. Maybe even link it to kind of Veterans Day, maybe. I don't know. But just being able to unlock these characters, a veteran character event, all three are incorporated, unlock them. Yeah, they can have a similar marquee style event, but hey, why not? Rex would have the leadership, Gregor and Wolf would not, whereas the original Wolf would have a leadership. But yeah, I feel like these characters would be viable, clone trooper wise, but also, yes, they would also be rebels because they supported in Rebels. Gregor being a tank, Wolf being an attacker, and Rex being support. Of course, I don't see Rex having another version. We don't have another version of another Rex, but hey, we could always have that Rex versus veteran Rex battles. But I don't know, these are my thoughts on the clone troopers that could come into the game. Again, yeah, these last three would probably have to come around from another source. But for the most part, I think the biggest few that would be... These are, I think, the biggest clones. Well, maybe not kicks per se, but we need another healer. But these are all big clone troopers that could make it into the game. Yes, eventually they could add even more and more and more. But I feel like in the next 2-year span... These are the top clones that could make it into the game and be game-changing, be exciting, be new, and be different. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, I will link the older video in the description below. I know there was a little different take on the thoughts on these releases. I don't remember that. I'd have to rewatch it, but other than that, thanks for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.